Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of Respawn Plays, where we are going through the Titanfall 2 single-player mission, The Beacon. I'm Jay Frechette, your community manager here at Respawn.
I'm Chad Grenier, senior designer and scripter for the level.
Manny Hagopian, I'm one of the writers.
Hey, I'm Jason McCord, I'm a lead designer and did the geo and layout for the level.
Sean Wilson, senior animator here.
What'd you do in the level, Sean?
I don't know.
You animated stuff.
Animated some of the BT scenes for Beacon.
Oh, rad. Here we are, guys, the final part of The Beacon.
Sean actually did my favorite animation for
What?
BT, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
Oh, wow. What is anticipation?
So, here's where you get the car battery,
Yeah.
the module.
It weighs a couple ounces.
It also acts as a desktop computer.
From the 1990s.
The pilots are also very strong,
Yeah.
apparently, in addition to everything else.
So this is one of the sections that also started as an action block. It was actually back in right after Titanfall 1 we started prototyping, and this was all done by one of our designers named Sean, and he was using a smart pistol. So the art tool was, we didn't have the art tool at the time, so it was just a smart pistol, and he would shoot a panel, and he would shoot like a control panel that you data knife, and that would activate it and move some stuff, and so that's kind of where this became a thing.
This was also one of the sections that we had tried to do the different difficulties on. So on hard difficulty, the panels would reset themselves after a couple seconds, and it made it a lot harder.
Did the art tool always auto-lock like that?
No, it didn't actually. It didn't auto-lock, and everybody had a hard time trying to hit those little switches while running, so we added the smart pistol auto-lock to it.
I love seeing these guys jump on these zip lines and go down. Like, you're right behind them. They're supposed to be killing you. And they're like, oh no, I missed him.
So here's a cool animation.
Oh,
of
that's
BT.
amazing.
Nice job, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the highlights, Sean, for sure, when I saw that for the first time. This is a fun combat space, too, because this is one I've seen approached many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. You don't even, like, some people get right to BT, some people don't at all get inside of them. Like, back to back.
Yeah, we don't have many of those moments, but they're pretty fun whenever they happen. You meet back up with BT, and he's just in the middle of wrecking house, and you can jump in him, or you can...
I remember, like, when this part was described to me, I wrote lines, like, as if you were fighting back-to-back inside.
Yeah.
Like, just, you were on one side, and literally were back-to-back. But then I realized it was a video game.
Well, I think we still used your lines. I think if I
I
remember
think
correctly,
we-
you have lines where he calls out like nice kill.
Yeah,
and,
you're right.
And he does still call those out if you're
Yeah.
not inside of him.
Yeah, they are kind of
So
some
we kept your stuff in there. So this is just, we're gonna reuse the fastball mechanic because we made it work. So why only use it once?
It was kind of funny, actually. The original design for this level did not have you go into the top of the dish. Do you remember you came back? We had the module, and it was like, so what are we gonna do with it? We should go to the center of the room, or we should go back and plug it in somewhere.
Yeah, I think you plugged it in at ground level.
Yeah.
At the bottom of that beam, right?
And it was like, well, where do you think you should plug it in? Like, this is a game where wall running and climbing is a major part of it, so let's go to the top of this level.
And so, just a fun fact, you actually can climb up there without him throwing you. And we've seen some speedrunners doing that.
That was the first time I saw it, the speedrunners.
It's very difficult?
They make it look easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do. I'm sure it's hard, though. Also, side note, that hot streak line is one of my favorites
Oh,
for the
yeah,
options
hot streak.
on there. I had a good laugh at that. We
That
have to
was one of
explain
the
to BT.
that was one of the original, like, just trying to write relationship lines between Jack and BT that were no real specific location in the game. We were just like, what could BT and Jack say to each other, like, right after a fight, you know? And that was one of the lines that finally added it into that one.
Yeah, I love this climb. I love too. Like, what's fun about this mission is because like where you are, I love like being able to see like having the context of like, wow, I was way over there earlier, and you just have that sense of how far you've traveled. That's really one of the things I really liked about this climb is looking around and you could see kind of like both sections. You know, where you started at the base, and then being able to, you know, you were on that dish, you know, just before there. It's a nice sense of scale.
Yeah, I remember checking it in and getting some of our programmers' eyes on it, and they were like, "Ooh. So you can see the whole level from here, huh?" It's like, yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
It looks like you've already picked up the collectibles in this playthrough.
Yeah, I did.
So the pilot helmets, we just made them a pilot helmet right before we shipped. The entire development process, they were these lion statues.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't even know what the lion statue was originally made for, but it was sort of like...
It's in Angel City.
Oh.
It's just a big prop. It's huge, actually, and we shrunk it way down.
So we almost kept them lion statues because we thought it was funny.
Yeah, we called them Blue Lions for a long
Oh, yeah.
time. The collectibles were
Blue
called Blue
Lions.
Lions. And then eventually the prowler on Jack's helmet came from the Blue Lion, and it became a blue prowler. It all came from that collectible.
The dish will automatically reorient itself once the new module is installed.
So this is probably one of my favorite
How do we?
sequences in the game that Sean did.
You came up to me and we're like, we just need to have him get from point A to point B.
Usually I come to Sean and I say, hey, I need this basic thing, and then he does something awesome like this.
Nah. This was like, I think this was like a first experiment in playing around with BT character animation wise, and I wanted to, I guess, have Jack kind of gesture and BT learn that.
Yeah.
And then mimic it back. So that was
Yeah,
actually so that was your idea then when they came.
I was
to
just-
you with
I
they were
was
like,
just-
let's do a thumbs up.
Yeah, I was just winging it, and then I was like, all right, I guess it works.
Wow.
Yeah,
Great.
but then I kind of like made full circle, like back in Ship to Ship. When you save BT, he returns the gesture back. So
Militia forces, lock down the control.
That's really cool. You'd almost think that would be more like informed, a very deliberate thing that was like scripted out. So it's just pretty rad. You just have some broad direction of get from point A to point B, and I feel like you got a lot of room to be creative.
yeah,
Come up with
yeah.
your own ideas for that.
I'm telling you, man, half of this level is happy accidents.
Yeah.
Yeah, also when you're falling off the dish, Cooper yells, BT! And that actually wasn't in the level. We had been putting the single player trailer together, and whoever was editing the trailer sort of did a sound pass on it and added that to the trailer, but it didn't exist in the game. And everybody here
Yeah, we
loved it
recorded
so
that
much
line. Yeah.
that we had to actually make it happen.
Oh,
So
wow.
we put that line in the game, which it seems silly now if we didn't have it. It's so perfect.
And actually, a quick note about the animation of falling off the beacon. I noticed I was really impressed when I realized that every weapon has its own animation. If you're holding a pistol when you fall off, there's a separate animation for trying to catch your pistol in midair, right?
Yeah.
Versus the
That
heavier
was
gun or a
thanks to Chad. He did some script wizardry to make that happen because we knew the player would have any weapon.
yeah. It's
So these bosses, these enemies, they spawn sort of randomly based on where the player's standing. It's probably worth mentioning. I've seen some guys doing speed runs and things, a little bit confused about these characters spawn in different spots sometimes. But what it's doing is just trying to make sure that they spawn away from you and not in the exact same spot every time. So it can play it a little bit differently.
Speedrunners watching this right now are like, I knew it. This is something I just love about playing as BT in single player, being able to swap loadouts. I would say in any longer engagements that I would have, I would switch my loadouts 3 or 4 times, just because it's just super fun to go from a Ronin to a Brute to a Tone. Oh, Richter.
So this was the first boss in the game. It wasn't Richter at the time. It was actually Kane, and he was the first time we tried to do a boss, and luckily we ended up, everybody kind of liked it, and we ended up making more of them.
How did the taunts come about?
So I think Chad came up and was like, let's try this slam zoom intro. I'm like, all right, we'll quickly prototype something, throw it in, and then everybody was like, yeah, this is cool. Let's just go with it. Yeah.
That's another example of that.
Another
It's like
happy accident number
let's try
2.
something and everybody loves it. I get
Excessive damage.
here.
Dude.
Yeah.
Too difficult.
I wish Rick edited it out.
This is a good fight. I like this boss fight.
You want to talk about Richter's character?
So, yeah, I mean, like, so Richter was, we knew we wanted this, like, crazy, angry German guy. I actually did, like, a lot of research on, its, like, old folklore and stuff like that to throw it into his lines. And they're all written in English, and then we had our localization translated to us, but one of the lines I translated myself was little man. I kept wanting to say the word little man, and I Google translated to Kleinemann, and when we got the actor to come in, he did some translation himself as well, and he kept saying the word Kleinemann, and it just felt right, and now I start hearing it popping up in movies and stuff like that. It's not my doing, but...
Or is it?
No, it's not. Unless it's, I think it's older than that.
Are you the little
But
man?
we weren't trying to make like an Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything. Just kind of turned to have that sort of tone. But
Oh,
no.
just a sliver left.
Yeah. Just put on a good show.
Have you played this before?
And he's the first boss you see besides Bliss, because you see him in the very beginning, cutting off the ear.
You're kind of establishing
Wilds.
that guy's crazy town,
Mhm.
kind of right away. Bliss actually kind of saves your life there in the beginning. I felt like Richter was kind of making
Richter
his
would
way
have
over
cut
to
off
you.
your ear,
Trying to
and
get
then
a
you wouldn't
trophy.
be able to hear anything.
Oh, what a
Oh, boy.
finish! It's a great assassination.
Yeah, those bosses were fun to try and balance. We actually did we had to do some wizardry to balance them versus all the kits that you can have at the time. You know, BT can have all these kits, and some of them are really powerful versus the bosses.
It's pretty cool how the bosses sort of also helped us do BT's loadouts. You know, because we had 2 avenues to think about weapons and attacks and things, not just as the player, but as what could a boss have.
Yeah.
And they ended up being the same things.
So with this being sort of the first mission you guys designed, is like, this is what a single player mission is going to feel like in Titanfall 2. How does it go from being like, this is the first mission we made, to being kind of like the 5th mission actually in the game? Was that always the intent? Was like, this is going to show up later in the story? Or like, why wasn't this like the first mission? Or did you even think of it that way?
Yeah, you usually don't start with the first mission because you're figuring a lot of stuff out.
Sure.
The first mission usually has a lot of story up front, and that kind of comes on a little bit later. And it also needs to be super strong, you know, the first mission does. So,
Yeah, I feel like the relationship between Jack and BT felt well established by this level
Sure,
too.
yeah.
Like you know how to work together. So we knew like you've already been through hell together.
What I love about this cutscene is when, you know, Sarah's like, oh, we'll get you a real pilot. And not only does, like, when BT objects to it, he puts you back in his cockpit. Like, no, he's mine.
I think it's hilarious how mean she is here, but in multiplayer she's so nice.
Is
she?
She's very encouraging. Well, you're not a
Yeah.
pilot yet, right? So she's
True.
got to still...
True.
Yeah.
She doesn't trust you.
You're lucky our backs are up against the wall.
It's like, all right.
Permission granted.
I love that BT's just holding you too on the side, like he's like, I'm just gonna hold him up.
What do you say? Their combat efficiency's at like 90% at that point?
Yeah.
The bond is real.
We're gonna do a big combat efficiency thing throughout the whole game.
Awesome. Well, that was the end of making the beacon. Huge thanks to the team. You guys did an amazing job on that mission, and it's awesome to sort of hear you guys talk about how it was made. We will have more of these coming to Respawn YouTube, so make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, all that good stuff. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
See you later.
You.